Hello, my name is Miss Monami, and today I'm going to teach you
The ancient spiritual theology behind sleep paralysis and its demons. I'll be covering 1. Why sleep paralysis occurs, both the scientific and spiritual explanations. 2. How to harness the power of a demon during sleep paralysis. 3. How to avoid being possessed by a sleep paralysis demon. Or 4. How to encourage being possessed by a sleep paralysis demon and the consequences that entails. 5. How to stop sleep paralysis from occurring to you at all. Before I jump into the 5 speaking points, I would like to share a story about sleep paralysis that took place in Tanzania in 2012. If you're easily spooked or are an extremely fearful person, I would advise you to stop here and do not continue watching this video because it contains some unsettling information to the average person. However, if you're someone who believes in the spiritual realm and is seeking deeper explanations, by all means, let's continue. Like I said, my story takes place in Tanzania, November 2012. In an unrecorded incident, 2 children from a mountainous tribe, which I will not name in order to preserve their anonymity, were next in line to absorb the powers of a line of demons that had been visiting the village for centuries, sustaining it with ancient knowledge and much more, way before the country itself was established. A Canadian volunteer had came to the village, uninvited, hoping to observe the rumored ritual firsthand. However, aspects of the ritual were seen as inhumane by the Canadian volunteer, who arrived after the first child had already absorbed the demon powers and halted the ritual of the second child before its completion with the assistance of Tanzanian police. Having thought she saved the boy from barbaric practices, the Canadian volunteer not only halted the century-old ritual, but demanded the boy leave with her and come with her to her hotel in town. She had planned to rescue the boy permanently by relocating him or bringing him with her to Canada, citing to Tanzanian officials that he was a troubled youth in need of proper guidance. It is believed by the townspeople that while in the Canadian volunteer's care, the boy became possessed by the demons of the ritual because he was left open to the spiritual realm when the ritual was interrupted. For context, a similar mental state is spoken of in the Bible when Jesus was said to have cast out demons who possessed a madman. In the biblical story, those demons then fled into a drove of pigs that ended up running into a body of water and drowning themselves. Anyways, back to the story. Tanzanian police found the boy walking down a dirt road, heading back towards his village with a machete at hand, covered in blood. 1A. Why does sleep paralysis occur, scientifically? It happens when you can't move your muscles as you are waking up or falling asleep during the REM, or rapid eye movement stage of sleep, usually in those that are bipolar or depressed. Though the research tying the phenomenon to mental health is still ongoing, it's essentially your eyes being open in the real world while your subconscious, which is the area of your brain for which you dream, causes the bouts of hallucinations and fear. 1B. Why does sleep paralysis occur spiritually? I know you don't want to hear this, but if you're experiencing sleep paralysis and visits from demons, you're imbalanced, and not just mentally, but spiritually, which is why demons have been granted access to you. When your heart is heavy from guilt or crimes of your bloodline, dating as far back as 4 generations, you will be visited by a demon who is there solely to soak up your life source. These are heinous crimes that are passed down. They can be the results of things such as incest, child endangerment, rape, or murder. So if you didn't do any of the aforementioned, chances are your great-grandfather might have. Generational curses aren't just real in the spiritual realm, but also in the scientific community with the increases in studies of epigenetics. Take the Dutch hunger winter, for example. Studies have shown that the fetuses of women who survived that era grew up to have issues with obesity because they mentally and genetically absorbed the nutritional trauma experienced by their parents. Also, a study done on lab rats at the University of Texas in 2014 showed that mentally tortured rats birthed generations that were not able to cope as well under pressure as generations of rats born from a more stable bloodline. So whether you're spiritual or not, know that you are genetically tied to the mental and physical turmoil of your ancestors. The demons want your life source. Your life source is what separates you from other animals. It's why you're not just stuck in a repetitive cycle like worker bees or ants. It's why you're able to think for yourself and sporadically change the course of your life with your own decisions. Demons are jealous of that and are slowly taking that advantage from you. Essentially, they are bleeding you of your essence. A biblical reference for a time a demon was granted access to bother the livelihood of a human is found in the book of Job. If I had to guess a theory on why Job was visited even after doing good,
I would say it was because of the sins of his previous generation, which is probably why his entire family needed to be wiped out, so future generations of his bloodline would not have to deal with the consequences. Once he was healed, he had more children who most likely were born rid of whatever generational angst Job was initially cursed with. 2. How to harness the power of a demon during sleep paralysis. In order to harness the power of a demon during sleep paralysis, you will need to speak these words in your mind. I am not afraid of you. You have no dominion over me. The crimes of my ancestors are no longer my own. I forgive myself for the crimes I've done, and I ask to be forgiven by all beings living and dead. I know what you are and why you are here, and I deny you access to my life source. I will now take back the life source you've taken from me, as well as the life source from every single human you were granted access to, dead or alive. You are allowed to paraphrase, but in your mental chant to the demon, you must make it clear you detach yourself from the crimes of your past generations, you forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness, you know why the demon is there, and you deny them access, and you reclaim your power as well as all the power they harness. If you do this successfully, the demon should explode into a ball of light before your eyes, and you should awake abruptly and never experience sleep paralysis again unless you or those still living in your ancestral bloodline, like your parents or grandparents, commit a heinous crime. When you awake, you will feel extremely clairvoyant and powerful. As long as you stay lighthearted and guilt-free by not offending anyone, that power could be yours until you die. While fully charged, you'll be able to feel it and know that you are harnessing additional power. Any works you do will be foolproof and successful. 3. How to avoid being possessed. Simple. Don't allow them into you. 4. How to encourage being possessed. Sleep demons want life source. What greater way to give them what they want than to offer up your own life? When visited, completely surrender to them and allow them to enter you. Though they've been granted permission to take from your source, only you can grant them permission to enter you. I believe the cases of modern exorcisms are due to people granting demons access to their bodies. Once inside, only an experienced spiritual worker can take them out. Otherwise, they have you until you die. They will make you do things like rape, kill, and commit suicide. They will encourage you to do things like incest and touch children. Despicable things that will have you not recognizing yourself. You will not be able to do good works during this state. You will lose your soul, but gain the world, riches, fame, and beyond. But you will constantly need to feed the demon by performing heinous acts night after night. You will also curse future generations of your bloodline with similar urges and fate. 5. How to stop sleep paralysis altogether. Heal. Break generational curses as well as make up for your own crimes. Do this through spiritual work, positivity, hiring a spiritual worker to cleanse you, remedial cleanses, praying, meditating, confessing, going to therapy, getting your mental and spiritual health as healthy as possible. Works 1 and 13 of my book, 14 Routines for the Harvest, are also great places to start for healing. Once your heart is light and you're guilt-free, the demon will no longer have access or be granted permission to you. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more videos like these. The 5 points and theories associated with this program are the intellectual property of Miss Mon Ami and or anyone running this page on her behalf. We are using the date published as a legally submitted date and time. Anyone using the theories in this video for monetary gain after the date and time this video was posted without the written permission of those running this channel are subject to compensating legal actions.